Arrest on tape. Tonight we're getting our first look at the dash cam video of the arrest of Albany police officer James Miller, and we're hearing from Miller himself speaking out for the first time. Good evening to you. I'm John Gray, First and Fox. The story we first broke to you right here yesterday in the 5 o'clock news. James Miller returning to work at the Albany Police Department later this week. Today, police released a video of Miller's arrest back in March, while Miller sat down with our KRISTIN LOWMAN to talk about the night of the arrest, the days since, and what he has to say to those who think he shouldn't get to keep his job at all. KRISTIN joins us live now from the Public Safety Headquarters with the rest of that story. Hi, KRISTIN.
Hello to you, John. Well, James Miller can return here to work at headquarters as early as Friday, and he will do so as department spokesman. But there are some changes. For one, he's no longer a detective.
Humble, embarrassing, humiliating. The first 2 days were some of the worst days of my life.
You're under arrest for driving while intoxicated.
James Miller is no stranger to the camera, spending the last 13 years as public safety spokesman for the city of Albany. But this interview, he's the topic, talking about his arrest back in March for drunk driving.
The officer did what he needed to do. He did the right thing, but I put him in that position.
Miller was stopped near the intersection of North Pearl and Orange Street. Albany police have released dash cam video of his arrest. Police say he was driving a department vehicle without headlights, failed a field sobriety test, and refused to take a breathalyzer.
I had a couple drinks at a couple different places that night. I didn't think that I had consumed to the point where I was unable to drive.
Have you done it before?
I think we've all done it before, on some level. And probably 90% of the population have done it if you drink. It's just, the majority of people don't get caught. I got caught.
About 2 weeks after his arrest, Miller pled guilty to DWI and says he takes full responsibility for his actions. He's thankful no one got hurt that night. What do you say to those people who don't think you should have your job back?
Well, if you look at the 19 years that I spent with the department, the 19 years that I've dedicated to the city, with an exemplary record. I made a mistake. I also suffered a pretty good penalty, not only personally but professionally.
Miller lost 30 days pay, vacation days, also had to return his detective shield. When he retires early next year, he will be the same rank as when he started, a police officer. And when he returns to work as soon as Friday, he will do it as spokesman. What about your credibility when you're talking about, who's to say a month from now you don't have a DWI case?
That's, obviously that's going to be up to the media and the public to decide. It's a situation where I have firsthand knowledge. Who better to speak about it, about the dangers of it?
And that's what Miller told me today that he intends to do. He's going to be speaking at a victim impact panel next week about the dangers of drinking and driving, also hoping to go into schools in order to share his story. He says he's determined to make something positive come out of the situation. We're live in Albany tonight. KRISTIN LOWMAN, Fox 23 News.
All right, KRISTIN, now Chief Stephen Krokoff in Albany also spoke to the media today about Miller's reinstatement, saying his actions played a major role in the decision to bring him back.
I would like it to be a model for really anybody that is involved in any sort of activity to take full accountability and responsibility for their actions. And I want the officers within this police department to understand how important that is. This is a teaching opportunity.
Krokoff also says he wouldn't have brought Miller back if he didn't think he would add value to their department.